We've got some warnings popping up in 21 country, two of them to focus on. There is a tornado warning for far northern parts of Steuben County, as well as a severe thunderstorm warning for several counties off to the west of Fort Wayne. Let's talk about this tornado warning first. I want to zoom in here. You can see, like I mentioned, this is far northern Steuben County. This includes Orland, this includes Fremont. This is along the toll road here. And this is along 120. State Road 120 is included in this. Angola, Crooked Lake, you are not in this tornado warning. So you see that red line that's to the north of Angola. That's where that tornado boundary is. And that extends up into southern Michigan, which is where that storm is coming from. It's a little bit muddied here, but I want to try to turn off the lightning strikes. You can get a good picture of what we're looking at. This storm is what we're watching right there, just south of Coldwater. Notice how there's a little bit of a hook with it. That tells us, hey, maybe there might be some rotation. And when we look at our velocity scan, we can see some indicated rotation. And as a matter of fact, I'm seeing another spot of rotation as well, it looks like, just north of Angola, in between Angola and Crooked Lake. Do you see where the green and the red are right next to each other? That gives us some indication that we're seeing some rotation in an area that is not under that tornado warning. That tornado warning is for places to the north, Orland and Fremont. This thunderstorm here in southern Michigan, just south of Coldwater, this is the one that tornado warning is for. So Brian Barrett, he joins me here now in the Weather Center. Brian, are you able to give me a little bit of information about what direction this cell is moving, how fast it's moving, so we can time it out for everybody at home?
Yeah, so that storm is moving to the north as well as to the east, and I believe it's moving at 40 miles per hour. 40
miles per hour. So we time this out, and we're going to put the warning up there as well, that warning polygon. So yeah, new tornado warning just issued for parts of Steuben County. This is that rotation that I was just talking about here. That's north of Angola. So if you live in Steuben County, if you live in Angola, if you live along State Road 827, Crooked Lake, all the way up through Clear Lake, Fremont, over into Page. This includes the intersection of East 300 North and North 600 East in Steuben County. But this does not include US 20 going out of Angola. So you can see a little bit of 20 is included, but east of 20 is not included. So 40 miles per hour, Brian Barrett says this storm is moving. So let's time it out, moving to the northeast. And over the next 30 minutes, here's where we're expecting it to be. Clear Lake at about 627. Montgomery 631, and then moving up into Michigan after about 640. So you need to seek shelter if you live in this tornado warning. If you are in Steuben County, in Angola, make sure to stay inside. You need to go to your safe spot. This is what radar looks like right now. There's that hook there that we talk about when we're seeing rotation. Notice how it's hooking just a little bit with that storm. So that tells us that there's some rotation going on. And another tool that we like to use is called the debris tracker. So this tells us, hey, the dark red stuff is all the same. Anything that is lighter than that dark red, those yellows, those oranges, those greens, that tells us that there's something being scanned that is not necessarily rain or hail. Right now, I do not have any indications that this storm is producing a tornado, but we still want to keep an eye on this. This tornado warning is going to continue until 7 p.m. We want to also talk about this severe thunderstorm warning. We don't want to forget the viewers in Wabash, Huntington, into Kosciuszko and Whitley County. That severe thunderstorm warning is going until 6:30 p.m. Information about this severe thunderstorm warning, and I apologize in advance for these kind of pauses in time. I'm trying to gather information in real time for you here. Wind gusts estimated about 60 miles per hour with this storm. So we can use our velocity tool to see where they're identifying this estimated wind gust. So it's just north of North Manchester right now. See if we can't get a little bit more information. So estimated wind gust 64 miles per hour with the severe thunderstorm warning that's currently in parts of Wabash, in parts of Whitley County, Kosciuszko County, over into Huntington County as well.
Caleb, Linda, and Heather here, everyone.
Yes.
Just to let you know, we're still here at the news desk. In that area you were just pointing out there, in the Wabash County area, the North Manchester area, severe thunderstorm warning. What should people do to stay safe in that area right now, Caleb?
So as these thunderstorms roll through, as this severe thunderstorm warning, you just need to stay inside. Don't go outside. We don't need your pictures, but this is not a situation right now where you need to seek shelter. For this severe thunderstorm warning, you don't need to go to your safe spot per se, but just stay inside as these storms roll through. If you live in Steuben County in this tornado warning, you do need to seek shelter. Once again, this is Angola, Fremont, up to Clear Lake. If you live along 127, if you live along 827, if you live along State Road 120, this is for you. But Orland, you are no longer in a tornado warning. So that's the good news. You are no longer in a tornado warning. Lake James, you are in that tornado warning. Putting on the velocity, once again, we can get a clearer picture of where that rotation is. So kind of looks like there's two spots of rotation there. One just to the southeast of Crooked Lake. There's a bright spot of red there. And then another spot to the northeast of Angola. There's another spot there. Whenever we see these reds and these greens close together, and we can especially see that in the situation of the one to the northeast of Angola, that tells us that we've got something rotating in the sky.
So when you're talking about velocity, you're talking about possible rotation, you're also keeping a very close look at wind speeds.
Yes, we're talking about wind speeds as well. So when I showed earlier that severe thunderstorm warning back in parts of Wabash County, Huntington, into Whitley County as well, we were using velocity to estimate wind gusts as well. So velocity, velocity measures wind speed. But when we've got the green on our map and we've got the red on our map, green means winds are moving towards the radar site. Red means it's moving away from the radar site. So that's how we know that there might be some rotation there. And if we take it down to street level, you can see even finer. So this rotation looks to be moving along State Road 827.
And again, when you're talking about rotation, this is not necessarily a tornado touching the ground.
Not necessarily so. So I believe, and Brian Barrett, correct me if I'm wrong, this is a radar indicated tornado warning, correct?
Yes, this is radar indicated, meaning the radar has indicated that there is some rotation with this storm.
Gotcha.
And
yes,
that means that there's a potential for it. However, it's not confirmed if it is on the ground.
And Brian brings up a very good point. It's not confirmed if it's on the ground. I always like to say radar indicated just means we don't have eyes on it on the ground. Something could be produced.
Absolutely. That was my next point to make. Don't take any chances, folks. If you live in this area, you need to get to a safe place. And Heather and I can take that just for a minute here while you keep checking out your data over there, Caleb. A safe place means if you've got the basement and you're living in this area of Steuben County, you should be in your basement. And if you don't, an interior room, right, Heather?
That's right. You obviously want to stay away from windows. As Caleb mentioned, we don't want you stepping outside to take a look at those storms. You need to stay inside. The most interior room you can get to if you don't have a basement. A bathroom would be a good idea, a closet, somewhere interior that you are going to stay away from windows or the potential of storms coming through the door. You know.
Anytime you hear that there's a possible tornado, it's always a great thing. If you've got an infant in your home, strap that infant inside a car seat. Take the car seat into the bathroom, into the bathtub if you don't have a basement in your home. And a lot of people I've talked with also take bike helmets or motorcycle helmets with it. You've heard the same thing, right, Caleb?
We tell people if you have to go to your safe spot, have a bicycle helmet in there, have shoes in there as well. Sturdy shoes, not necessarily sandals. This is the timing of the storm right now. Fremont, 624, so it's moving into Fremont right as we speak. And then Reading, 640, that's moving into southern Michigan. Canceling this and just clearing this off, I want to see if we see anything on debris tracker. It's kind of hard to tell, and the reason why is because it's kind of on the edge of where that storm is. If we were seeing something, it'd be in this area right there, which the problem is that the storm is kind of isolated, so we can't see exactly where it is because we're seeing some, what I like to call contamination on the edge of this storm. So we can't quite tell if our debris tracker is picking something up. But Brian Barrett here, if you're just joining us, he's with us here in the Weather Center. Brian, have you received any reports from the National Weather Service about damage or anything like that in our area? I know in Michigan, there was actually a tornado emergency for counties up in Michigan, but that's not for us. But we've still got some stuff bubbling up right now.
No, I have not confirmed anything quite yet, but still, as we noted before, that potential still exists. And that area that Caleb is highlighting at that current moment, make sure if you're in that area to seek shelter immediately because there is a potential for a tornado, not confirmed on the ground at the moment.
So this is a wide-angle view here of what we're dealing with. Several watches, the tornado watch in effect for everybody across 21 country, and that now includes Mercer County. And then we've also got a new severe thunderstorm warning. This goes now up into northern Whitley County and into Noble County here.
I think, Caleb, it would be helpful once again to talk about the difference between the watch and the warning. All of 21 country appears to be under the watch right now, but just a small isolated area is under the warning.
Correct. So the watch means there is the chance severe weather could happen. So we've got the ingredients there, but they haven't come together. Think about it like baking a cake. You've got all your ingredients, but the cake's not in the oven. It's not mixed up. The warning means something is either happening or it's going to happen. So those ingredients are coming together to form either a severe thunderstorm or a tornado. Going back to the radar, I want to talk a little bit about the new severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued.
You said again for Whitley County?
Yes, it is for parts of Whitley County into Noble County as well.
Okay.
So that's going to go until 7 o'clock. And it's that storm that's just north of South Whitley. So that's the storm that we're eyeballing here.
And right now, that's thunderstorm.
Yep,
not
severe
tornado.
thunderstorm warning, correct. So this is estimated ping pong ball size hail. So not confirmed, but estimated ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So if you live in Columbia City, if you live in Tri-Lakes, if you live in Miriam, up into Ormas, Lorain, Churubusco, Larwell, as this thunderstorm moves over you, just stay inside your house. This is not a situation where you necessarily need to go to your safe spot, but it is a situation where you want to stay inside, maybe stay away from windows. And meteorologist Brian Barrett says that he's got some information for us here.
Yes, that if you go to further north in Steuben County, we actually do have from emergency management report a tornado is on the ground southwest of Fremont. That actually was just reported about 2 minutes ago. So if you are in that storm at this moment, make sure to seek shelter immediately because, you know, some of the emergency managements have confirmed that a tornado is on the ground southwest of Fremont.
So if you're watching us in Fremont, if you're watching us in Clear Lake, you need to get to your safe spot right now. This has been confirmed on the ground that we're seeing a tornado in Steuben County. So this, like Brian has mentioned, this is confirmed by people on the ground that there is a tornado touchdown. And Brian, you said that storm, that was to the southeast of Fremont? Southwest, excuse me. Thank you very much for correcting me.
So right there along the highway
is probably the area right there that we're eyeballing moving into Fremont. So moving into Fremont there. So Fremont, you've got maybe a minute. So keep in mind, when you're looking at radar, it's a few minutes behind. It's got to get that data to us. So it's a couple of minutes behind, but this is as fast as we can get it to you. So Fremont, get to your safe spot right now. Lowest floor, most interior room. It looks like this storm is traveling along 827. So this has been moving in a southwest to northeast trajectory. So it's kind of just crossing over 827 right now.
And you have to believe, Caleb, with wind gusts of 60 miles per hour plus, you know, sustained winds are probably in the 40s,
at
50s
least
range, right?
Yeah, especially in these thunderstorms. So Swagger Street, South Reed Street,
This
120
really helps breaking this
Depot,
down. Yeah.
North Ray Street. If you live along those streets or nearby, within a mile or two, you need to get to your safe spot right now.
This is, I think, a good time to remind folks, obviously, we don't want you sitting in your living room watching us on 21Alive, but that's why we have the weather app and the news app. You can take your phone with you and be really informed, you know, as we said, down to the street level of the storms that are moving through.
Yeah, don't go outside, please. We appreciate any time anyone sends us video or pictures. This is not the time to do that, folks. Your safety comes first. We shared some video during an earlier newscast of some guys standing outside a hotel in a small Oklahoma town, and they were nearly hurt, if not worse, because they were trying to get video of a tornado that was passing, and it destroyed where they were running for their lives. So do not take chances. This is really showing us quite a bit right now, it seems like, Caleb.
Yeah, so the reason why this box is kind of a purple shade and not a red shade, because this has gone from radar indicated to confirmed tornado on the ground.
Okay.
If you live in northeast Steuben County, you need to get to your safe spot right now. The storm is going to move up into Michigan within the next couple of minutes. But once again, just putting a timer on this over the next 20 minutes, moving into Montgomery at about 6:37. So that's in Michigan. So if you live along the toll road, if you live along 120, you need to be in your safe spot now. Clear Lake, you need to be in your safe spot. East 750 North, you need to be in your safe spot now. Stay there for about 15 minutes or so until this storm passes through. And then if you're able to, go ahead and come back out to the television, but if you're watching us on TV, ignore us now, go to your safe spot, come back out in about 15, 20 minutes. If you live along East 750 North, North 700 East, and the storm is just crossing over 120 right now. Debris signature is kind of hard to see once again. So we don't know. We do not know if this storm has caused any damage, but what we do know is that there is a confirmed tornado on the ground in northern Steuben County. And meteorologist Brian Barrett, are you able to provide any more information? Has there been any more information about this storm relayed to you?
Actually, we just got an update from an emergency management spotter, and he said that there's a tornado near 200 West, just north of US 20. And this is in Steuben, Indiana, just north of US 20. So
say those roads again for me, Brian.
It is 200 west, just north of US 20, and that's one mile east-southeast of Crooked Lake, Indiana.
Crooked Lake. So Crooked Lake is near Angola.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Southern part.
So this is
part
the
of
area
right
that
now.
the tornado was confirmed in. Right now, Crooked Lake is not in a tornado warning, but emergency management has confirmed that in that area that Brian just mentioned, west 200 north, or north 200 west, excuse me, saw a tornado move over it. And you can see this storm is continuing to intensify as it moves off into Michigan. That big white spot we're seeing on top of Montgomery, that's an intense radar return, meaning there's likely hail that's being shown on radar right now.
And that seems like the path you've been talking about. So it seems as almost things got started there maybe in the Crooked Lake area and just took that southwest to northeast.
Yeah, exactly. So it kind of
there.
moved along State Road 827 up through Fremont now. So this storm is just a few minutes from moving into Michigan. So if you live along East 750 North in Steuben County, you need to get to your safe spot now. This is a confirmed tornado on the ground. Get to your safe spot now. Give us about 15 minutes of your time. Go to your safe spot, and then you'll be able to come out.
Now, Caleb, you were talking about, and we'll continue to follow everything in Steuben County, but you were also talking about Whitley County. You were also earlier talking about the Wabash County, North Manchester area. We're hearing in our messages on Facebook from Valerie Clarkson. This is her unofficial weather report. 60-mile-per-hour winds, dime-size hail, tree limbs down, a pouring quarter-inch rain, just lickety-split, she says. That's reporting from the north side of North Manchester. And boy, that radar is really lighting up.
And
Yep.
we can tell you right now, sitting in our studio on the near north side of Fort Wayne, we can hear the rain
pouring.
just coming down. So that, that storm that you see, even though it's not a tornado warning, it is a thunderstorm warning and
Correct.
still can cause damage. You still want to be keeping an eye on things and being safe.
Yes. So we do actually have a new tornado warning for parts of Grant and Blackford County. So, Brian, do me a favor and gather some information on that tornado, please. It goes until 7 p.m. And just chime in whenever you've got the information, Brian. I'm going to just keep talking. This is the storm that we're seeing moving out of Grant County into Blackford County, moving into Hartford City. Velocity estimates right now, they don't look terrible. The issue is that this location is so far away from the radar site that it's scanning higher up in the sky.
Interesting.
So it can't give us as accurate of a picture of what's happening on the ground right now versus the location that's closer to radar site. So if you live in this tornado warning, you need to get to your shelter now. Locations in the path of this storm. And Brian, how fast is this storm moving?
So this storm is moving east at 40 miles per hour. It is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. This is radar indicated at the moment. And it also says in Hartford City and places like Upland will be in the path of the storm at around 6:40.
Yeah, so the timing here, excuse me, is Shamrock Lake 6:42. So even though it's 6:37 right now, act like it's 6:39. Act like it's 6:40. Go ahead and get to your safe spot right now. Hartford City, you've got about 5 minutes to get to where you need to be. Get to your safe spot. If you're just now joining us, there was a confirmed tornado in Steuben County, and now we have another tornado warning in parts of Grant and Blackford County that goes until 7 p.m. So you need to take these warnings seriously, like Heather and Linda just mentioned. Not just the tornado warnings, the severe thunderstorm warnings as well. More locations in the path: 658 Rydertown, Pennville 703, and Como 706. Those of you in Jay County, you are not in this tornado warning, but you want to keep an eye on things because that's the trajectory that this storm is moving, kind of east-northeast. So if you live in Jay County, if you live in Portland, if you live in Bryant, if you live in Dunkirk, you're a little bit farther south, but these storms can still turn. So you need to seek shelter if you're in one of these severe thunderstorm warnings.
And seeking shelter, again, everyone, means if you've got the basement in your home, get to your basement. If you've got an interior room in your home, especially maybe a bathroom that does not have windows or a door to the outside, get in that room. If there's a closet nearby, get in that room. You want to stay away from your southwest corner of your home if you can. Move in more interior, if you will. It's always the safest spot. And we also realize we're cutting into the national newscast tonight, cutting into programming. But as you can tell from what Caleb and Brian have been sharing with us, one look at the map shows very serious conditions are all over 21 country. So you'll just have to bear with us. If your home is not in the path of any of this serious stuff, good for you. That means you're safe and sound. And Brian and Caleb are helping all of us to remain safe and sound tonight.
So you can see there are several storms that are now starting to spin. I'm watching this storm that is currently in Whitley County and southern Noble County. That's quite intense. There's also a storm that's in Huntington right now that I want to keep an eye on. You notice there's that little hook that we've been talking about with some of these storms. When they want to rotate, they want to start to hook. So we want to keep an eye on this storm. That storm looks like it's going to move into Allen County here in the next several minutes. This storm does not have a warning on it. It is not warned, but that's an area that we want to keep an eye on. And it doesn't appear as if there's rotation with that storm, or at least not indicated on radar quite yet, which is good news. But still, just stay inside as these storms roll through, even if you're just under a severe thunderstorm warning, even if you're not. We don't need you to go outside and take pictures for us right now.
Now, that storm in Whitley County looks pretty intense at the moment.
Yes. So this now tells us that there is some new information about the storm. Because it's a little bit of a different color, it's a little bit more of a shade of orange. So large hail is possible. Maximum estimated size of hail, 2 inches in Tri-Lakes. Radar indicated wind gusts of 60 miles per hour. So 60 miles per hour, that tends to be what we see with severe thunderstorm warnings around here. But 2-inch hail is definitely not what we see around here. That's relatively rare.
All the more reason to stay inside. Whenever hail is part of one of these storms, it can hurt you. It can, yes, damage things, and cars can be replaced, but you do not need to be injured in a hailstorm.
So this storm trajectory is moving to the northeast. So Kendallville, it'll be over top of you at about 6:58. Green Center, 6:44. Bakertown, 6:49. Into South Milford, and then Milford at around 7:05, 7:10.
And again, Caleb, you're doing that so people can plan ahead and look ahead. Yes, you're talking about 11, 12, 13 minutes ahead of all of this. So take another good look at your screen now, everyone, as you see a major portion of 21 country being affected by some very strong storms right now. If you live in any of the communities right there in that black box with the white lettering, check it out. Check out the time that coincides with your community. Know that this storm will be most effective at that time. And as Caleb said, time after time, we just can't say it enough. Please get to your safe spot right now.
Yes, so this thunderstorm producing potentially 2-inch hail. So need to stay inside as these thunderstorms roll through. And Brian, I believe there's an update with that tornado warning that was in Steuben County, correct?
Yes, that tornado warning in Steuben County has finally moved out. It is not in our viewing area at all anymore, so that is some good news at least.
So for those of you that are still in your safe spot, and maybe you're watching us on your phone or on your tablet, or maybe you can hear the TV from where you are, if you're in Steuben County, you're in the clear. So Fremont, Angola, Orland, Crooked Lake, Ashley, no longer under a tornado warning. So you guys are safe for now, but we are not done with thunderstorms. You can see all across the area, things are starting to spring up. And in our environment, it's more favorable to starting to see some of these thunderstorms rotate. Indicated, obviously, by that confirmed tornado in Steuben County. I want to transition back down into Blackford County here. And Brian, do we have any new information about that tornado warning that's in Blackford County as I take a look at it here and look at the velocity?
I will get a little more information. Just give me 1 second.
No problem. Yep.
So that looks like it's just in the fringe of Grant County.
Yeah, so
moving into Blackford County.
Yes, so moving into Blackford County, out of Grant County. So, mentioned earlier, when you've got those greens and those reds next to each other, that gives us an indication that there's some rotation. Now, you want to keep in mind, this location is really far away from the radar site. So we don't know exactly what's happening right now on the ground, but we do know that there is a tornado warning with this storm that's in Grant in Blackford County. That goes until 7 o'clock. So this area, I'm going to make sure I've got the right tool selected. So this is the area that we're watching here. Getting ready to move into Hartford City any moment this storm is. So once again, the timing. Hartford City, you've got about 4 minutes. I know it says 6:46 and it's only about, so you've only actually got 2 minutes. So get to your safe spot if you live in Hartford City. If you live in Trenton, get to your safe spot. Pennville, you've got a couple of minutes until this storm gets to you. So you've got some time. Put some shoes on. If you've got a bicycle helmet, take it with you into your safe spot, the lowest floor, most interior room of your home. You want to make sure to stay away from windows and walls as best as you can. Corkwell, 708. Perryville, 712. So locations in the path of this storm, you need to seek shelter now. This tornado warning does not include anybody in Jay County, but that storm is moving that way. So Jay County, you just need to be on guard. You just need to pay attention right now to the weather, but you do not need to get to your safe spot quite yet.
And the last update on that storm in Blackford County was 10 minutes ago. We have a tornado warning there still until 7 p.m. This storm is moving east at 40 miles per hour, capable of producing some quarter-size hail, and this is a tornado radar indicated. So that means that the tornado is not on the ground. It does have the potential of it, but still, if you are in that area, make sure to seek shelter because we're going to still see that continue to move eastward in the coming minutes.
And I wouldn't be surprised if this tornado warning is extended into Jay County. The reason being is because the National Weather Service doesn't know whether anything is happening in that location right now. So as long as there's some rotation that's being detected with this storm, I wouldn't be surprised if they extend this into Jay County.
They're going to be on the safe side, it sounds like,
yes,
and possibly do that. Good looking ahead and keeping us safe here, Caleb. And guys, this is too why 21Alive issues a first alert weather day. In the beginning, this was a first alert weather day yellow. Code yellow. We also have a code red. We knew the ingredients after listening to our meteorologists and our weather team. We knew the ingredients could be there, and as we watched this day develop, this is what's happened. As you take a look at this full radar picture of the entire area that we dubbed 21 Country, you can tell it's a very active time in our evening hours right now. You can see the Logansport area. A lot of times when storms develop in the Logansport, Peru, Wabash area, my home territory, we know that oftentimes that path leads right into Allen County. So you can tell we're not finished with the storms yet.
No, so the timing of this, because the tornado watch goes until 9 p.m. for places that are off to the west of Fort Wayne. So that includes LaGrange, Whitley, Huntington, Grant, Wabash, and Kosciuszko County. The tornado watch goes until 9 p.m., so still a couple of hours, and then even longer for places along and east of I-69. So that includes Steuben, DeKalb, Fort Wayne, so Allen County, Wells at Adams County, Blackford and Jay County, as well as Paulding and Van Wert County, as well as Defiance and Williams. So that threat for severe storms to develop is going to continue even longer into the evening. Now, the reason why we opted for a first alert yellow day versus a red day is because red days are reserved for widespread major impacts. That doesn't mean there aren't major impacts for some people right now. We know there are. We know that there was a tornado on the ground in Steuben County. We know that. We know that there was large hail. That very likely was a major impact for somebody. But so far, the reports that we've received, and Brian, correct me if I'm wrong, is that they've been relatively isolated, those confirmed reports. Correct?
Yes, you are correct with that.
Yeah, so that's why we went for a yellow day for today, because we knew that this would be more so of an isolated event. So this is the big picture view right now. The tornado warning for Steuben County has expired several minutes ago. So Steuben County, you're in the safe zone for now, but there's also a tornado warning for parts of Blackford County. There's also a severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Noble County and northwestern DeKalb County. That goes until 7:15. This storm has been tracking even west of Wabash, and it's been continuing this northeastern motion. So I mentioned earlier, Steuben County, you're in the safe zone for now, but it looks like the trajectory of things is going to lead this storm into your area. So this is a severe thunderstorm warning, but you still want to stay inside your house, stay away from windows as these storms roll through. Fairfield Center, 657. Ashley, 703. Steuben, 707. Angola, 713. So we've still got a couple of minutes for our friends up in Steuben County until this severe thunderstorm rolls through. I don't believe there's been any rotation detected with this storm according to the National Weather Service, but we can take a look at that on radar. And there is a spot of bright green there, or excuse me, bright red. So likely some strong winds associated with this storm, and actually just moved on me there. So estimated wind speeds, 77 miles per hour. And Kendallville is a lot closer to the radar site than places like Blackford County. So this is more representative of what might be happening on the ground right now. So Brian Barrett's got some information to share with us.
Yes, that storm that's moving towards DeKalb and Noble County, we have that severe thunderstorm warning issued till 7:15 p.m. That storm's moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. And Caleb, if you can maybe just go and see how big the hail, because with the report from the National Weather Service, hail is possible to 3 inches, which is softball-sized hail. That is very dangerous there, so make sure to be inside if you're in the track of that storm, because we have the potential for softball-sized hail as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds. That storm is quite dangerous at this moment.
And again, that location, I'm sorry, guys, repeat that location again, Brian, if you will, please.
Yes, it's in DeKalb and Noble counties at this moment.
Yes,
we have a severe thunderstorm warning issued.
So this storm just to the northeast of Merriam along 9, so just to the east of 9, you can see that bright spot of purple there. This is that spot that radar thinks, hey, there might be some pretty big hail. So radar says estimated 2 inches. National Weather Service says estimated 3 inches in diameter for this hail. Either way, that's large hail. So Avila up into Fairfield Center, you want to stay inside as these storms move through. Stay away from your windows. Don't go outside. We do not need your pictures. You can see that bright spot just getting ready to move into Avila. And like I mentioned earlier, this storm is tracking back into Steuben County.
Yeah, so it looks as though within some matter of time, it would hit the Angola area, the Steuben County area, as it continues to move.
Yes, so a lot of these storms have been warned for a really long time. They've been tracking a long distance. This thunderstorm particularly started down near Peru, down near Logansport, and then it's been warned pretty much the entire way. Fort Wayne, we're seeing a thunderstorm just getting ready to move in. We heard the torrential downpour here earlier at the station. Right. That was associated with another round. We now got a new one.
Yeah, Boyd Township looks like it right now.
So getting ready to move in. This is not under any type of warning, not under a severe thunderstorm warning, not under a tornado warning. So Fort Wayne, Allen County, New Haven, Woodburn, Leo Cedarville, Monroeville, all of the towns in Allen County, you are not under a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, but just know, probably going to get loud here in a couple of minutes as this thunderstorm rolls in. Radar not really giving us a whole lot of details there, showing some dull greens, not really seeing a whole lot of red next to it, so that's good news. It doesn't appear that it's rotating. And I'm just scanning around here to look to see if there's any other spots that stick out to us right now. We know that there's that tornado warning for parts of Blackford County, and here it is. And while the National Weather Service has not extended the tornado warning, they have extended the severe thunderstorm warning into Jay County.
Caleb, would you do us a favor real quickly? When we have an appropriate moment, we'd like to bring in some Facebook comments and have some questions for you. But right now, will you tell folks the most important spots in 21 Country they need to know about and take cover if needed?
Yes, so
we have a, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
Caleb, we do have a comment here, dime-sized hail in a villa.
So
that's what one viewer is telling us.
Yes, so we know that that thunderstorm that's in Noble and DeKalb County moving off to the northeast is producing hail. That's the report that we've just received. So I'm just seeing on my screen here the tornado warning for Blackford and Grant County is going to expire. So I don't see any more tornado warnings that are popping up on our screen.
That's good
They've
news.
now opted for a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Jay County. So this is for radar indicated 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So not quarter-inch, but the size of a quarter.
And you made that call earlier. You thought this might move into the Jay County area.
Yes, so that's the good news at least. So it looks like that tornado warning has expired, but still, if you're in the severe thunderstorm warning, if you live in Portland, if you live in Bryant, if you live Perryville, Hartford, Petroleum, I'd say even Pinedo, Pennville, you're not in this tornado warning and it's going to expire, but you are in the severe thunderstorm warning. So just stay inside as this thunderstorm rolls through. Linda also asked to identify other areas that are important. This severe thunderstorm warning outlined for parts of Noble into DeKalb County. See that big bright area of pink and that big bright area of white. That's that severe thunderstorm that was producing large hail earlier. Brian, I think you said, what was it, estimated 3 inches of?
Estimated 3-inch hail, but you checked on your radar and it's showing around 2-inch. So.
But still, 2-inch, 3-inch, honestly, it doesn't really matter because that's still going to produce some damage, especially in our area. And that's something that we don't see all that often. So the viewer comment, Heather mentioned a villa, dime-sized hail being reported. We can see that blob is just starting to shift a little bit towards the villa. So it's the gray spot that's now on a villa, and that purple spot is now to the northeast of Green Center. So this is the big picture now.
Let me ask you this,
Yes.
Caleb. We don't need rain. We've had, our share of rain this spring. Is there the potential, is there the risk of flash flooding or?
If a thunderstorm keeps moving over the same area continuously, yes. And some of these thunderstorms are. The one in northern Wabash County, back into Logansport, looks like it's going to track over areas that have already seen heavy rain, that have already seen some hail.
So there easily could be standing water.
Somewhere, yeah, especially your low-lying areas, your rural roads, anywhere where there is a viaduct or just a farmland, those areas could see some ponding. So, good reminder, if you come across a flooded roadway, turn around, don't drown.
Yes.
Find a different route, find a different way to go. So once again, this is the big picture view. There's a severe thunderstorm warning that's in parts of Noble and DeKalb County. That goes until 7. And then the tornado warning, the National Weather Service is going to let expire.
I had a comment here, somebody, Robert, saying golf ball size hail in Avila. So I think that area
So this
got pounded.
That area, that cell is just slowly tracking off to the northeast. So
how quickly is all of this moving? Is it 40 miles an hour or less or more, Caleb?
About 40 or 45 miles per hour. So we put the storm cone on this earlier. Let's do it again because it is moving into Steuben County, an area that we heard that there was a confirmed tornado in parts of Steuben County. I don't know that we've received any reports, Brian, of damage. Have we or have we not?
We have not at the current moment.
So we don't know if there was any damage in Steuben County, but we do know that this severe thunderstorm is moving into an area that saw a confirmed tornado. So Fairfield Center, we've got until 7:04. Steuben, 7:14, and Angola going until 7:20.
We're told again on our Facebook feed, it's starting to downpour and the wind is picking up in Auburn. You were talking about the DeKalb County area being in that path. It looks as though it's there.
Yeah. So we want to Auburn, DeKalb County as well. You want to stay inside. So we've got severe thunderstorm warnings for parts of Wells, Adams, Jay County, down into Blackford County. That goes until 7:30 p.m. There's also severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for parts of Noble and DeKalb County. That goes until 7:15. Brian, is there any new information that you're able to tell us at this time?
At the current moment, actually got a report from the emergency management in Kendallville saying that there was golf ball size hail just east of Kendallville. So
here, we want to take just a second. We do have some video that just came into our newsroom seconds ago. It appears as though there is hail in the Avila area, and oh boy, probably a good quarter size.
Golf ball size, it looks like, yeah. And again, that Avila area has really, for the last hour,
obviously this is up to you,
been under this. So
the last one just dropped, and it's 7 o'clock.
And it's pouring again here at the station. We're hearing downpour right now in the Waynedale area.
Let's go ahead and we can take some video here of the rain, the thunderstorm here at Television Park. Again, we're just on the near north side of the city, off of Hillegas, and we can hear that rain coming down. So
yeah, this is our second downpour here in about 30 minutes, I think.
That's right.
Yeah, this is right outside Television Park here.
Some smaller hail.
And if you want to cut Caleb's microphone, if we could, real quickly, he's discussing with some staffers here a couple of the next moves that the department needs to make as far as the weather goes. But yeah, the heavy rain at Television Park again. We're hearing something we heard maybe, 30 minutes ago, Heather. It sounds just about the same as it did not too long ago.
Yeah, you absolutely would not want to be out in this if you can avoid it. Again, no tornado warning, no severe threats, but plenty of rain.
Yeah.
Certainly wouldn't want to be driving,
right.
Trying to see the road.
And yeah, obviously we're talking about Allen County right now, the most populated county in the viewing area. But as you can tell, with our coverage here the last hour now, we have seen a very active weather pattern pop up throughout portions of 21 country. From the northern portions to the southern portions, from east to west. Many of us are being affected by at least heavy downpours, if not more. So again, if you are in the area where there is a severe thunderstorm warning taking place, or there is tornadic activity that Caleb and Brian were just talking about, the best thing to do is to get to your safe spot. Hopefully you and your family have practiced for a moment like this, have talked about a moment like this. You need to get to your basement. Take your phone with you. You need to get to an interior room in your home with no windows if you don't have a basement. And I've had such great advice told to friends over the years, if you've got a baby, place that baby in the car seat, strap that baby in, and take that baby into that interior room or closet, bathroom, inside the tub, whatever you feel safest in. If you have a bike helmet, a motorcycle helmet, if you've got sturdy boots and shoes, you know, a lot of families just keep those things in a pile, if you will, in a very accessible area.
Okay, we're just getting word into the newsroom. Of course, we will be continuing to watch. Our weather team is here very carefully watching these thunderstorms as they move through. But we are told right now, we want to take a live look where Jim Banks is speaking at the Republican headquarters right now.
Friend David Keller, his wife Shannon. We have a heart for serving people. We put the people of Northeast Indiana first in everything that we do, the veterans, our senior citizens, the hard-working men and women of this region. And when we get to the United States Senate, we're going to work twice as hard for everyone in this great state, and I couldn't be prouder to work and serve with each of you. So thank you to Team Banks for all that you do. There's so many people in the room who did so much. My mom and my dad are here. Both of my brothers are here. My grandma is somewhere as well. My mother-in-law, Deb, who puts up with so much as well and takes the girls. Where's Deb? In the back of the room. Thank you for all that you do as well. Our family, our friends, and then so many people along the way who have had our back. And I can't thank all of you, but it's important to me that people like Bill Bean, who invest so much for us each and every election cycle. Bill, thank you for all that you do for us. David McIntosh with the Club for Growth is here. They had my back when I ran for Congress the first time. They were the first to be behind me when I ran for the United States Senate. Thank you to the Club for Growth for your support as well. Pro-life and pro-family groups like Susan B. Anthony List, so many others got behind us when we got in this race, and I appreciate it. I appreciate that they know that I have a rock-solid, fiscally conservative voting record, a rock-solid...
There you have Congressman Jim Banks with his acceptance speech in his race to become a U.S. Senator. His acceptance speech there in our primary election taking place at GOP headquarters here in Allen County. We want to get back to our weather coverage. We understand there is a new warning. That is the access cam on top of Science Central showing downtown Fort Wayne, Allen County, and that area right now being pounded by some heavy rains. Several other portions of 21 Country under some watches and warnings. A tornado watch for the entire area. Do we have a new warning, Caleb?
So the new warning that we were discussing is twofold. There are two of them. The severe thunderstorm warning that is extended into Adams County.
Okay.
So this is the same storm that earlier was tornado warned through Grant and Blackford County. Okay. That has now been downgraded, quote-unquote downgraded, to a severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service is saying, hey, we're not seeing enough rotation in this storm to warrant a severe thunderstorm warning. But what they are seeing is radar estimated 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. This storm is moving to the east at 35 miles per hour. So over the next couple of minutes, Bryant, J-City, Padua, over in Coldwater, Ohio, over the next 10 to 15 minutes. So J-City, 723, Bryant, 714, and then Coldwater, 738. So Coldwater, Ohio, if you're watching via antenna in Mercer County, this storm is moving towards you. The severe thunderstorm warning that was just for Noble and DeKalb County is now for Steuben County. This thunderstorm is taking the same exact track that the thunderstorm took earlier that produced a tornado. This severe thunderstorm warning is for large hail. They've been warning this the entire way. Radar indicated 3-inch hail. Brian mentioned earlier that is softball size hail. We do not see that type of hail around here usually.
Now, Caleb, if I'm looking at this right, we have a new tornado warning? Is that?
So that tornado warning, our radar is just picking that up, but that's in Michigan.
Okay.
So not for part of 21 countries.
Okay,
so you
good
are
to know.
seeing that box, but that tornado warning is in Michigan. So that's not for us, but we want to focus on the severe thunderstorm warning that's in Steuben County. This is Ashley. This is Angola. We're doing this all over again. Crooked Lake, up into Orland. We zoom in here. You see that big spot of white just south of Steuben. That tells us, hey, there's probably some hail that's happening. And we get an estimated size. This is from a couple of minutes ago. Radar here estimates it at 1.5, but National Weather Service says up to 3-inch hail is possible with this storm. So you want to stay inside, stay away from the windows as these storms roll through. Let's time them out here. Once again, this thunderstorm is moving into Steuben County, so moving from southwest to northeast. And Brian, can you give me a little bit more information? How fast is this storm moving?
So this storm is moving northeast at 50 miles per hour, and as you noted before, it's capable of producing 3-inch hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. It is moving towards Steuben County at this moment, but also DeKalb, LaGrange, and Noble counties are also in that severe thunderstorm warning.
Hey guys, Bridget is on Facebook asking, are the storms weakening as they are moving towards the east? Would the answer be no overall?
The answer is no.
Okay.
So these storms,
are the temperatures dropping? I mean, what do we still have all the ingredients we need for this,
we've still got all the ingredients for the next couple of hours to produce severe thunderstorms. So we are not out of the woods even as these thunderstorms pass through. So this is the timing of it here. Lake James, 7:14. It's now 7:09. So as this thunderstorm approaches you, 7:14. And then Fremont, 7:16. So Allen County, you are now under a tornado warning. This tornado warning extends from Yoder, Hessencastle, Maples, Monroeville, Zulu, over to Edgerton.
This is southern Allen County onto the east side.
Yes, so New Haven, you are in this tornado warning. You're on the very northern edge.
Take shelter right now if you're in these areas.
Fort Wayne, downtown Fort Wayne, you are not in this tornado warning. You are just to the north of it. So let's see if we can indicate any rotation, because that's why the National Weather Service would have warned this, is because of possible rotation. And we can see that there.
Rotation above the ground, not necessarily on the ground at this point, correct, Caleb?
Brian, you're going to have to give me a little bit of information about this storm.
Yes. So the tornado warning is until 8 p.m. and this storm is moving northeast at 30 miles per hour. This is a radar indicated tornado, not meaning that there's a tornado on the ground. However, this is definitely, we do see some rotation with this storm at the moment. So if you're on the path of it, as Linda mentioned before, seek shelter at this moment.
I just received a text from my family in northern Allen County. Tornado alarms are going off in that area.
Yes.
That would be northern Allen County, DuPont, Coldwater area, Huntertown.
And
You'll probably hear the sirens.
Yes, there's a reason why. It's because all of Allen County's tornado sirens are connected.
Okay.
So when one goes off, they all go off.
Gotcha. All right. Kayla Stewart texting me as well.
Yes,
She lives
Fort Wayne.
north as well. Okay.
Fort Wayne is not in this tornado warning. This is for southern and southeastern Allen County. Huntertown, you are not in this tornado warning. Harlan, Grable, Leo, Cedarville, you are not in this tornado warning. New Haven, you are in this tornado warning. So is Maples. So is Monroeville. So this tornado warning goes until 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
And let's time it out for you once again. So if you live near Maples, 7:23. If you live near Monroeville, 7:32. Baldwin, over in Ohio, 7:39.
Very important to plan ahead here in southern Allen County, southeastern Allen County.
Yes, you've got a few minutes to take action. Go to your safe spot. The lowest floor, the most interior room of your house. Might be a closet, might be a bathroom. If it's a bathroom, get in the bathtub. You've got a few minutes. If you live in these farther out communities, get your shoes on. If you've got a bike helmet, put the bike helmet on. But some communities, you need to take action now. Trying to get down to road level here. So this storm, this rotation, looks to be getting ready to pass through Hessen Castle right now. So it's just crossed over Winchester, getting ready to cross over US 27. So if you live along Tillman, Marion Center, Minnick, Franke roads, go ahead and get to your safe spot. The way this storm is tracking is more east-northeast. So there's a little bit of northeasterly component with how this storm is tracking. So this storm is moving north of Hoagland Road. But if you live along Hoagland Road, you are still in this tornado warning. So you still need to seek shelter as this storm passes through. Our debris signature, we can't tell based off of what we're seeing on radar whether there's been any debris wafted up into the sky. That's what this radar shows. If a tornado hit a structure, it lost that debris up, it picks it up, it throws it up into the sky, and sometimes radar can detect it. Radar's only so fast. So sometimes that might happen in between scans. So we can't quite tell yet whether something is on the ground, but this is radar indicated, which means there are not eyes on it. There's no eyes on this storm right now that's moving through southern Allen County. This goes until 8 p.m.
If you're just joining us, everyone, as Caleb just said, this is for southern Allen County. This is a tornado warning that is in effect essentially until 8 p.m. You can see the areas of the roads that are involved in all of this. Because we have had one tornado warning now in Allen County, you've probably heard the sirens in the southern portion of the county. Caleb was just informing us they're all connected throughout Allen County. So that's why if you see some sunshine in downtown Fort Wayne but still hear a siren going off, that's why. If you see some sunshine, as some people are indicating on Facebook up in Huntertown, but you still hear the sirens going off, that's why. If you're along the DuPont, Coldwater area, yeah, okay, everything seems to be safe right now, but we've got the ingredients, we've got the environment for some severe, very serious weather right now. Many people are affected by this. If you are not, as I said earlier, if you're just joining us, I said, good for you. That's a blessing because you're safe right now. Some other people, though, are in the paths of some very serious weather moments, and we're here to help keep you safe, and that's what Brian and Caleb are doing right now.
And I want to go back to the severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for parts of Steuben County as well. So this storm has reports of 3-inch hail. One of the emergency management volunteers is reporting 3-inch hail. That has not been confirmed, but that is a report out of Hudson. So that is in this area, the severe thunderstorm warning, that's parts of Steuben County. There are some reports being picked up of some large hail. That hasn't been confirmed, but those are just reports. Tracking this storm off to the east, it's moving fairly quickly, about 50 miles per hour. So Fremont, you've got about 9 minutes till that storm gets on top of you, so treat it like it's 5 minutes. Just stay inside. Take action sooner rather than later. This is not a situation where you need to go to your safe spot, but you want to stay in your house. You want to stay away from the windows, just in case we see that large hail redevelop.
Yeah, Steuben County, I think, Caleb, has been one of the most active, if not the most active portion of this program, if you will, for the past hour and 15, 20 minutes. We have an image of some large hail someone sent in Kendallville. On the right-hand side is the Kendallville hail, if I'm not mistaken. On the left-hand side is a villa. We showed you a villa image just a few moments ago, but look at what's going on in 21 country right now. Amazing.
I'm holding out my hand and estimating. That's the image on your right. That's at least golf ball size hail, if not larger. And Brian, we've got some more reports coming in, correct?
Yes, we have a couple more reports here. I know you said 3-inch hail in Hudson, Indiana. That's in Steuben County. Also, train spotters report golf ball size hail in Pleasant Lake. That's also in Steuben County as well. So we have seen substantially sized hail, as we just saw on the screen just moments ago. So these storms, as they continue to track their way across our region, are bringing some large hail. So definitely something to keep in mind.
So I want to pull up the currents, because this is going to give us a look at what's happening across Allen County.
Wow.
So this is our 4-box shot. So this gives us a view of what's happening. And I believe that's one of our directors scanning the sky towards where that tornado warning is. The issue is that it's likely rain wrapped, meaning the rain is obscuring whether or not we're able to see if there's rotation happening. So from our point of view, kind of difficult to see whether or not anything is happening in there. So if you're in that tornado warning,
which one are you talking about?
The one in southern Allen County.
Right? Okay.
You need to seek shelter right now. We're going to zoom back into that.
So southern Allen County, the Monroeville area.
This includes
up into New
Hessen
Haven.
Castle. So this tornado warning has just been cut off a little bit. So Yoder, you are no longer in that tornado warning. But Hessen Castle, Maples, Tillman, Monroeville, towards Edgerton, you are in this tornado warning. Parts of New Haven, you're in this tornado warning. So downtown New Haven is not. But if you live south of US 30 in Allen County, and you live to the east of Maple Crest Road, you are in this tornado warning. And this tornado warning, you can see, it extends through New Haven into eastern Allen County, all the way out to Woodburn Road. And Woodburn, you are now in this tornado warning. So this tornado warning goes until 8 p.m. tonight. And this is a radar indicated tornado, meaning there's not eyes on what's exactly happening at this time. I know storm spotters are out there trying to safely get a visual on this storm. They are trained spotters. They know what they're doing. We're telling you at home, you do not need to go outside and take photos of anything that's happening right now with any of these storms. Stay inside. This thunderstorm that's capable of producing a tornado is moving east-northeast. So timing out this storm here, we're just going to take a middle point here. Tillman, about 7:25. Baldwin, 7:31. Into Payne, Ohio, 7:36. Tipton, 7:39. Those are the estimated times of arrival of when this storm is going to move in. And this is a slow-moving storm as well. It's only moving at about 30 miles per hour. So I've estimated these times to be a little bit sooner. That way, you've got time to take some action as this thunderstorm rolls through. Rotation on this storm is fairly impressive. We can see there's some bright red and some bright green right next to each other, telling us that there is some rotation happening in the atmosphere. Whether that's reaching the ground or not, it's hard to say. But you still want to take this seriously, because this storm could be capable of producing a tornado. So you need to stay inside as this thunderstorm moves through. Once again, the timing of this storm over the next 25 minutes or so. Monroeville, just be prepared. About 7:30 is when this storm is going to be near you. Baldwin, 7:37. And Batson in Ohio at 7:43.
Caleb, I just wanted to pass this along to you. We have a good amount, over 1,000 viewers watching this online. And we just got a nice comment. Thank you so much for your amazing crew for keeping an eye on this. And so just wanted to...
Well, thank you very much. And yeah, firstly, thank you for trusting us. And for those of you that have not been in a warning or a watch today, I want to thank you for your patience as well. I know that we're interrupting your programming. I got to be honest, I don't even know what programming is on besides our 7 p.m. news it's supposed to be on. But we know that we're interrupting something that you wanted to watch. And so I appreciate your patience with this as we get out this critical information to the people that need it the most right now.
Yeah, Diane messaged me on Facebook and said, Kendallville at 6:58, spot on prediction. Great job. I think when that black box, when you're showing the way people know when the storm is going to be on their doorstep, quite frankly, and you can give us a heads up. You've got 15 minutes to get prepared. That's enough time for everybody to get what they need in order to be safe down in the basement, that interior room. And Brian, I know you're over there just feverishly looking up some of the data. You're closely watching the National Weather Service. Are there any reports of any more damage that we've heard about in the area, or?
Not at the current moment, but we have had multiple reports of golf ball sized hail.
It's amazing.
And even 3-inch hail in Steuben County as well. So, you know, I know one thing that's really you know, we do have that tornado warning in Allen County at that moment, but some of this hail is very large. So that's another facet.
You come from an area, or you came from an area where severe thunderstorms produced really big hail.
Yes.
This size all of the time. So this is an uncommon thing for us to experience hail to the size of 2 inches, 3 inches estimated.
Where is he from?
So he worked at a station in Fargo, North Dakota.
Oh, okay, in Fargo. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
so the northern Great Plains, they get severe weather quite a lot. So this is that thunderstorm that's in Steuben County.
Okay.
Radar is estimating 1 inch of hail, but we've got reports that it's produced 3-inch hail in some spots.
And we do have some video, if we can go ahead and take a look at that, of some, wow, that's huge. Hail in Corona, that's in DeKalb County, easily tennis ball size, would you say, Caleb?
Yeah.
At least.
And I've got pretty big hands, too. So, yeah, I would estimate at least tennis ball size hail. And you can see how that's kind of forming. It's a bunch of small hailstones getting stuck together. And then it gets so big and so heavy that it falls down. And when you've got big hail like that, that tells us that the air is rapidly rising. It's rising really quickly, so fast, in fact, that it can keep this large hail lifted up into the sky until it's so big it has to fall to the ground.
That's wild. That's just wild when you think about that. Beth, a friend of mine in the Fremont area at Snow Lake, saying thank you for the coverage. I think, especially when you see video like that, that brings it home. When you see the radar and you see how active this is still, and we've been on the air almost an hour and a half now, everyone, you see that this tornado warning is still in effect for the southern portion of Allen County, going into our neighbors in Payne, Ohio, and you know, the Woodburn, southern New Haven portion of the area there, Monroeville to the north. This is still affecting a lot of people there.
Yeah, so you want to stay inside as the storm rolls through. Timing it out once again. So this is a slow-moving storm. It's only about 30 miles per hour. The storms that have been producing severe damage, or the storm that produced a tornado earlier in Steuben County, they've been moving quicker. So this one is moving a little bit slower as it moves through Allen County. So Monroeville, you need to get to your safe spot now if you are not in it. So time is 7:26, estimated time 7:29. You want to treat it like it's happening now. So get to your safe spot. Baldwin, 7:37. You've got a couple of minutes. Go put some shoes on, then go get into your safe spot. If you live in Van Wert and Paulding, Ohio, Paulding especially, keep an eye on this storm because it's tracking right towards you. So if you live in Haviland, you are not in this tornado warning. Nobody in Paulding, Ohio is in the tornado warning. But still keep an eye on things because the storm's going to be in Payne here in about 20 minutes or so, Payne, Ohio. Haviland, about 7:55-ish. So you want to stay inside as this thunderstorm rolls through. If you're in the tornado warning, you need to go to your safe spot. And I can see that the National Weather Service is slowly trimming locations out of this tornado warning. So now, Hessen Castle, you are no longer in this tornado warning. So you are out of the target zone. But if you live in Maples, if you live in Monroeville, Zulu, out towards Edgerton, Woodburn, even into New Haven. New Haven, you're just about done with the storm, but still use some caution. If you live out on Dawkins Road, and this goes all the way past 101, all the way to the Indiana-Ohio border, if you live along Dawkins Road, you need to take shelter. If you live along 101, you need to take shelter because you are in this tornado warning. Monroeville, you're just on the edge of it, but you're in this tornado warning. So take shelter now. So that way, even if the timing of it says you've got a few minutes, that way you're not caught out and you're in your safe spot. When we talk about your safe spot, we're talking about the lowest floor, most interior room of your home. This is a closet. This is a basement. This is a bathroom. And I can see behind Heather and Linda that we've got a shot of downtown Fort Wayne. Producers and directors, can we take that live camera shot into downtown Fort Wayne?
Stand by. We've got that coming here. There it is.
I would like the tower cam.
Oh, tower cam.
So not
right.
Science Central, tower camera, please.
There we go.
So you can see this is looking off to the southeast.
Right.
That's where that tornado warning is. In a state like Oklahoma or Texas, you'd be able to see that from here. But because we've got so much moisture in the atmosphere, these thunderstorms have so much moisture to work with, we can't quite see exactly what's happening. But you can see the area, that cloud that is just above the AEP building, lowering just a little bit. So we're seeing that these clouds are getting a little bit closer to the ground. So we might be seeing perhaps a wall cloud starting to drop, trying to produce a tornado, but we don't have anything confirmed on that tornado warning about whether something has reached the ground or not.
Yeah, if you pretty much just look straight through the middle of that picture, you're going to get to southern Allen County in the Monroeville area where that has just passed through. Again, Yoder and Monroeville, they're kind of in the clear as far as that is concerned, but it is moving east, and it's just amazing to behold.
If you're able to, directors, please pan to the east, so that'd be towards the left. I want to see more towards New Haven, so a little less of downtown, a little bit more towards New Haven.
As we wait for that, Caleb, we've got a couple viewers wondering about Columbia City. I know it's pretty much in the opposite direction, but how is everything there right now?
So Columbia City, you've got a thunderstorm on top of you right now, but there is not any warnings. There's not a severe warning. There's not a tornado warning, anything like that. So Columbia City, Tri-Lakes, it's a little loud right now, but you are not under any type of warning. The only tornado warning that's in effect for right now is for parts of Allen County. Down into Jay County, that severe thunderstorm warning has expired. So that's the good news. That severe thunderstorm warning has expired. Into Steuben County, this thunderstorm has been warned since about Wabash. So this has been long tracked, producing some big hail, tennis ball size hail. And this severe thunderstorm warning is going to go until 8:15 with radar indicated baseball size hail. We saw that. So we saw baseball size hail. So these thunderstorms, we're not done yet with the severe weather, but Columbia City, that question that you were asking, Columbia City right now dealing with the thunderstorm, but not in a warning. Rotation on this storm that's in Allen County.
We do have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
A couple of viewers asking two things. One is anything moving that's off in the distance to the west, anything moving into our area that we need to be watching for later, and then also asking questions about overnight. Is there the risk of storms popping up? Are the conditions right overnight for this to continue for some time?
So fortunately, it looks like our severe threat is going to be ending here within the next couple of hours. So yes, we are approaching sunset. So that's not what we want with severe storms. We don't want sunset and then severe storms still happening. But the bulk of this is wrapping up. Earlier today, Chicago, Valparaiso, Kankakee, they were in a tornado watch. The Storm Prediction Center has trimmed that down. And as these storms are moving off to the east, they're going to continually cut counties out of that tornado watch. So I suspect we are about done with the thunderstorm action. Are we completely done? No, not necessarily so. We can see in Kosciuszko County, in northern Whitley County into southern Noble County. There's still some thunderstorms that are springing up. The good news is they're not warned. They're just thunderstorms. It's a bit loud, but we've still got that tornado warning that's in effect for Allen County. This is Monroeville. This is Woodburn. Over into Edgerton, Ohio, and Payne. You need to seek shelter if you are in this tornado warning. Payne, Ohio, you are not in this tornado warning, but you want to take this seriously because this storm is heading right towards you. We can see that bright green and that bright red spot right next to each other just to the south of Tillman. We've got that bright red. We've got that bright green. There's also another area of bright red just to the east of Monroeville. So Monroeville, you need to be in your safe spot if you're not already. If you're watching us on your television, step away from your television. Go to your bathroom. Go to your closet. Go under the stairs. Go to your basement if you've got one. Seek shelter for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And then as long as it's safe, you can go ahead and come out of your safe spot and you can rejoin us at your television screens.
Caleb, I've also seen a few viewers asking questions about New Haven. Right there on your map, we can see that New Haven is right on the line there.
Yes.
With things moving east, Caleb, does it feel to you like New Haven is now getting in the clear?
So yes, good question. New Haven is in the clear, and as a matter of fact, just as it's like you're a fortune teller. New Haven has been cut out of that tornado warning literally as we spoke. So they're trimming it down a little by a little. So New Haven, you are now in the clear. Maples, you're in the clear. If you live along Franke, if you live along Minnick, you are now in the clear. But if you live in between the intersections of Tillman and Franke, all the way to about 30, you still are in this tornado warning. You need to seek shelter now. Timing this storm out for you here, and we want to put the radar back onto it because we can see this is an intense area. There's a lot of red on this map. So Payne, about 747. I don't like that. We need more locations here. Switch my tool around. That's not the tool that I wanted.
Caleb, as you get set here, I'm going to give you just a moment. I've been monitoring a lot of the comments, more than 700 people commenting just in the past couple hours. So obviously a lot of people watching this coverage and a lot of the viewers wanting to give reports of what they're seeing in their area. Always a caution in that. In my experience, Caleb, is, you want to make sure you're getting your information from a trusted source. We appreciate people commenting. Obviously, a lot of people trying to inform things. But sometimes you do want to double check and make sure where that information is coming from, and it is coming from somebody like a Caleb or a Brian.
Yes, that's exactly right. And we've got trained storm spotters, emergency managers, oftentimes firefighters or police. They're trained, sheriffs, they're trained sometimes to spot storms as well, so they're able to give us reports about what's happening on the ground. The timing of this storm that is currently under a tornado warning, 7:35, Baldwin, Ohio. Payne, 744. Tipton, 7:49. There's no indication yet, Brian, right, that the National Weather Service is either going to continue or cancel this tornado warning that's in Allen County?
No, there is no indication at the moment, but we're still monitoring this storm.
And what reports have you seen come in from the National Weather Service?
I have seen that some, this is actually from trained spotters, they're reporting some rotation in the storm near Zulu, Indiana.
So that is in Allen County, in southeastern Allen County. So velocity shows us where that rotation is. So you see Zulu on the left side of your screen, right there. And we see the red, which is winds going away from the radar, green, winds going towards the radar. So that's where this rotation is being spotted. Kind of hard to tell back in the picture behind you guys here off tower camera looking into southeast Fort Wayne, but we've definitely got some ragged clouds. I don't know. There we go. If you guys are able to zoom in.
It's moved.
On our tower camera, yeah. So you can see that big shadowy white area near the ground. That's rain. That is heavy rain that we're talking about. There's an area just off to the left of where that rain shaft is.
Wow.
That you're starting to see those ragged clouds. That tells us that this air is rapidly rising and it's trying to do something. It's trying to rotate, but we don't have reports of that rotation reaching the ground in Allen County. But even so, you still want to take this tornado warning seriously until it expires, because we've already had a report in 21 country of a tornado on the ground in Steuben County earlier this evening. So take all of these warnings seriously, and the National Weather Service did extend this tornado warning into Paulding County, Ohio.
Now, as you heard, everyone, Amr Abbas is with us. We're all working together to watch this closely. If one of our producers, Rose or Ginger, on the 21Alive Facebook message board sent something at 7:30. I'll describe the picture. She sent 2 pictures, and this is what Amr was touching on. I will describe them, and you'll get the gist of it. But Amr was just talking about, when you see this on your screen right now happening at your doorstep, we want you to be safe. Please don't think, oh, great, I want to get outside and get video of this, get pictures of this. Please, please, please stay safe.
Yes.
Keep your family safe. But I will tell you, I believe Ginger's from the Kendallville area. When everything was said and done on her doorstep, she went outside, picked up some pieces of hail, brought them inside. She had 5 or 6 on a plate next to an apple. Everything was the same size.
Wow.
And she also had a can of soda on her counter, and she put another piece of hail next to the can. And it's just amazing how big some, I'll bring these up on my phone. We're going to zoom in, so forgive the shakiness ahead of time. But we'll zoom in here. This is the picture from Ginger in the Kendallville area.
Oh, wow.
Look at this, see? You can tell. Pieces of hail that she picked up after the storm, everyone, after the storm had cleared. She went out to the yard, picked these up, put them on a plate. And let me find the other picture here. There's the can of soda on her counter with a piece of hail next to it. This is what we're dealing with. This is dangerous stuff. So if it's happening right now, we don't want your video and your pictures right now. Wait till you're safe. And we do have some video, Heather, to show everybody.
Yeah, this is North Manchester, so not not in the area of southern Allen County that Caleb's been really focusing on, where we have that active tornado warning right now. This is from North Manchester, but look at that hail. It's almost bouncing off the ground.
Yeah, that
looks like a golf course.
Yeah, that gives you an indication how heavy that hail is and how fast it's falling. So that means it took a lot of strength, a lot of energy to keep those hail balls up into the sky, and then they got so heavy that they fell down. And Brian, you've got some information to share with us, correct?
Yeah, so that tornado warning that has been extended, it goes for Allen County and Paulding County, Ohio until 8:15 p.m. That storm is moving east at 30 miles per hour, and that is a radar indicated tornado, meaning that there is a potential for a tornado to be on the ground, but it is not confirmed at this moment. So still, if you are in that area in the portions of Allen and Paulding County, Caleb's going to show in just moments, make sure to seek shelter immediately.
And then Caleb, that area you were mentioning, Zulu, was an area of concern. That's just a little north of Monroeville. Is that still the area where is your highest concern right now?
So Zulu is just out of the concern spot. So now we're watching Four Corners, north of Monroeville. Zulu's a little bit further north than that. So Zulu, you're just about in the clear. I want to point something out here. This is our debris tracker. It tells us, hey, something that radar scanned isn't quite the same as everything else. There's a spot of yellow just north of Monroeville. It's kind of on the edge of this storm, so it could be hard to indicate anything, but you can see that spot of yellow sort of tracking across 30. We want to watch that area closely, because if it is what it is, it's potentially debris that's been picked up by a tornado and lofted into the air. We do not have confirmation that a tornado has touched down in Allen County. We do not know that yet. And hopefully we don't hear any reports about that. But we want to watch that area. If, well after these storms are over, if you live near Maples, north of Monroeville, sort of near Tillman Road, if you don't mind sharing a report about what happened at your home, whether it was calm, whether it was windy, whether damage happened, we'd really appreciate it. So that way we've got confirmation as to what radar is showing us, because radar is only a tool that tries to make a best guess of what's happening. It's not able to tell us exactly what's happening on the ground. That's where trained storm spotters, National Weather Service comes into play. Those are the people who really help us out. If you're at home, even if you've just got a thunderstorm rolling over you, we do not need you to go outside and take a picture. Stay inside your house. If you're in a tornado warning, you need to be in your safe spot right now. Yes, Payne, you've got a couple of minutes. Haviland, you've got a couple of minutes as well. But you want to be proactive. Get to your safe spot because these storms are rotating. You can see that area of bright green next to the bright red, just moving over the Indiana-Ohio border, moving near Ohio 500.
And Caleb, when you talk about that area, are you able to give any sort of estimated wind speeds that we're looking at?
So this bright red gives us an estimate, and I got to turn my warnings off here, so give me just a moment.
After you give us that, Caleb, I'm going to show a couple more pictures, but I wanted you to give us the wind speed information.
Estimated wind speeds with this, we are seeing rotational speeds about 50 miles per hour. I want to caution us, though, because we're so far away from the radar site, radar is scanning higher up into the sky and is not able to get a decent picture about what's happening on the ground right now out there. So this is on the Indiana-Ohio border, and our radar site is located in northern Kosciuszko County, 45 miles away, 50 miles away. So that radar beam is going to be scanning higher up into the sky versus a location that's closer to the radar and might get a little bit better view of what's happening on the ground. So still, take this seriously. Even if you've got eyes on it and you're saying, yeah, there's nothing happening, we're still seeing some indications of rotation here. And that red brightened up just a little bit, right in that area.
Is that a good thing?
That is not a good thing.
Okay.
So the red brightening means wind speeds might be increasing. So the brighter the color, whether green or red, means the intensity is starting to pick up. So we want to watch the area to the east of Baldwin, and I want to see if there's anything on debris tracker. We can't quite tell, but that area near Baldwin, that bright green spot, might be an area to watch. We don't know if anything has been lifted. We don't know whether the tornado or a tornado has touched down in Allen County or into Paulding County. But what we do know is that you need to take this seriously because thunderstorms in 21 Country have produced tornadoes earlier this afternoon and evening.
And Caleb, I'm going to let you and Brian take a look at that for us. As you know, we have a lot of pictures, video, and visuals coming in. I want to show you something that our viewers shared with us from Whitley County. Linda was just showing us different size of hail. Wow, look at that. The entire palm of someone's hand. You can see 3 pieces there in that gentleman's left hand, filling it up, and 5 pieces, large hail. Linda, Heather, this is the kind of hail that can cause damage, can cause significant damage, and really nothing that you want to mess with.
No, I've seen pictures from some viewers just in the last few minutes. Broken windows. Leanne messaged the 21Alive Facebook page and said, we have holes in our garage door and siding up here in Kendallville. And I think another thing that this shows is, too, you can be in a neighborhood in Allen County and see some sunshine right now. You can see white puffy clouds and blue skies. And then we're talking about just, you know, gosh, 10, 15 miles away, people are in a tornado warning.
Yep.
So if you're sitting at home and you're saying, oh, geez, you know, this coverage, get over it. It's just a thunderstorm. Really, if it's not a thunderstorm on your doorstep and it's more, this kind of coverage means the difference between being safe and not being safe. And I, for one, really appreciate knowing what to be able to tell my family and friends who are texting me right now like crazy. You know?
Like I mentioned earlier, we appreciate your guys' patience. We know we're interrupting your programming, but we need to get this information to people. And I have some good news. This was a little bit earlier, Amr, you asked a question about thunderstorm redevelopment, or maybe it was Linda.
Yeah.
It looks like the National Weather Service is not concerned about redevelopment of storms because they are trimming back that tornado watch, that area in yellow. I talked about Chicago, Valparaiso, out near Kankakee, no longer in the tornado watch. Now, South Bend down to Logansport, no longer in that tornado watch. So as this line is progressing off to the east, places off to the west are slowly being trimmed out of this tornado watch. There is a new tornado warning. This is for Mercer County. You can see there's a lot of lightning. These storms are quite intense. This goes until 8:15. So this is Salina, Fort Recovery, and St. Henry. So if you live in Salina and places to the south in Mercer County, seek shelter now. Coldwater, you're in this tornado warning. Seek shelter until 8:15. Southwestern Paulding County, still under a tornado warning. Goes until 8:15. National Weather Service has been slowly cutting out places off to the west as the storm pushes off. There is an area of concern with this storm for me. And I've been talking about this. You notice how there's a little bit of a hook with this storm. Tells us that there's some rotation. And in this area I'm circling right now, in there, if a tornado was on the ground and hit a structure, we'd be watching for debris. When we see that kind of ball on the radar and it just went away, radar just updated, that sometimes tell us, oh, well, there's debris happening. Brian, we don't have any reports of any tornadoes on the ground with this storm, correct?
No, we do not have any reports of tornadoes on the ground, but we do see on that storm relative velocity some rotation, but no tornado has been confirmed on the ground.
Yeah, so that's that bright red and that bright green right next to each other. So we've still got some rotation with this storm. Over the next 25 minutes, we're going to continue to monitor it.
And guys, am I seeing that the tornado watch has been extended past 9 p.m.?
So the areas for Steuben, DeKalb, Allen, Wells, Adams, Grant, Blackford, they were in a tornado watch already until 11 p.m.
Gotcha.
So there were two tornado watches issued. Places west of I-69 until 9.
Thank you.
And then counties along I-69 to the east until 11 p.m. It does look like our severe threats kind of wrapping up all at the same time.
Okay.
So while we've still got another hour or so to have to deal with these storms, you can see those storms that moved from Logansport into now DeKalb County, they fizzled out. So when the main line moved through and then we saw some more thunderstorms redevelop, it's moving into an area where the older thunderstorms kind of used up all of the energy in the atmosphere, so they don't have anything to work with. So it does look like we're not having to be too concerned about regeneration of these storms. This is what I'm talking about. These storms right here that moved from Logansport into northern 21 country, they've been dying off as they've been moving to the northeast. So that's a good sign.
And Caleb, is this line still moving at about 40 miles per hour? And is that slow or fast for a line of storms?
It's about average, but the issue is that these storms are moving at different rates. So 40 miles per hour is about a good estimate, but this storm in Paulding moving at about 30, and then the other storm in Mercer County moving a little bit faster, about 40 miles per hour.
Gotcha.
So locations, if you're just joining us, we've still got a tornado warning for parts of Paulding County, Ohio. This includes Payne and just into Haviland. So you can see Haviland, you are just inside this tornado warning. If you live to the west of 127 through Ohio 14 and then Road 47 north, you are in this tornado warning. Bryston, Tipton, Worstville, Payne, you're in this tornado warning. McGill and Batson, you are now in the clear. Edgerton, you're in the clear as well.
Canton, Ohio, I'm not familiar with where that is. Someone from there is asking if they are in the path.
Brian, do me a favor and look up where Canton, Ohio is. I apologize in advance. I don't know where it is either.
I think that's over in the Cleveland area. Brian's looking it up, but
yeah, that's
don't
where
trust Linda.
yeah, that's where the NFL Hall of Fame
I
is.
know where that. Yeah.
So I would suggest. Unfortunately, we're going to focus on our area.
Yes. Yeah.
I would suggest you tune to WOIO, our sister station
Sure.
in Cleveland, Ohio. They're going to be monitoring these storms just as we are.
And Caleb, as you know, our viewers keep sending us more and more information, pictures, and video. We have some footage now we want to show you from Avila.
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 Yeah, and
Thank you,
this is
Linda.
safe, right?
Yes.
This is doorbell.
Doorbell, camera
video.
footage. We were talking about debris.
Good grief.
And you can see that hail
That
shattering
hail's coming
against.
down, isn't it? Goodness.
Yeah, strong winds there.
Yeah, so, and part of this damage, not just winds, it's that hail. It's so large, it's ripping those sticks and those leaves off the trees.
And if I'm not mistaken, that part of 21 Country got hit more than once
Yes.
over this time. Again, we've been on the air now 2 hours, bringing you the latest storm coverage, 2 hours, give or take. And it's one of those things where those cameras just tell it all, right?
And
They capture everything.
This is why these viewer photos and these cameras, for those of you that are safely able to share it,
Safely
is
taken, right.
important, because we want that confirmation of, yes, radar is actually showing this. And not only that, for an insider tip, for people who like stories, these visuals help connect the words that we're talking about. So this even helps us drive the point home even further that you need to take the storm seriously, because it's producing hail, it's producing rotation. This is that tornado warned storm in Paulding County. Haviland, 7:56. It's 7:53 right now. Get to your safe spot. Don't wait another minute. Get to your safe spot. Laddie at 7:58. Grover Hill, 8:07. You've got a couple of minutes if you're in Grover Hill. I mentioned this earlier. If you're going to your safe spot, grab your shoes. Put your shoes on. If you have a bike helmet, just take it with you. I know it sounds silly. A motorcycle helmet as well will work. But you want to protect your head at all costs if there is a tornado on the ground and it's producing some damage. You just want to take all precautions. And then this storm is going to move into Melrose and then out of Paulding County by about 8:15. Right now, I believe that is the only active warning for 21 Country. Mercer County is just out of our viewing area, but we know that people still get our signal, people still watch from there, people travel to work from here. So we know that you care about Mercer County. So Mercer County still under a tornado warning. That's going to go until 8:15 p.m. Rotation with this storm is radar indicated. We are not seeing any confirmations, but there's that bright green and that bright red that I keep talking about, sort of right next to each other. So at least higher up in the sky, just to the west of Coldwater, we're seeing some rotation. So in Mercer County, Coldwater, Salina, and even St. Mary's, St. Henry's, Chickasaw, you're in this tornado warning. Get to your safe spot now. The storm is moving east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. So in the path of this storm, and we're going to speed this up in time just a little bit. That way you guys can be proactive and not reactive. Coldwater, the storm's pretty much right on top of you. So get to your safe spot now. Salina, 8 o'clock, over into St. Mary's by about 8:10. So get to your safe spot now if you are in this tornado warning, if you're watching us from Mercer County. If you've got friends in Mercer County, family in Mercer County, Salina, Coldwater, St. Henry's, give them a call. Say, hey, do you know you're under tornado warning? Might be something happening. You should go to your safe spot. You want to take all precautions with anybody who's in Mercer County right now. And that's the same case for Paulding County. This storm looks like it's just getting ready to move into Haviland and Laddie. You can see that bright red there. Estimated speed of 70 miles per hour. We don't know that that's what's happening on the ground, but it's an estimated speed. So use some caution. Just be proactive. If you're in this tornado warning, you want to seek shelter now, and the National Weather Service has extended this tornado warning through the rest of Paulding County. So the southern half of Paulding County in its entirety, all the way through, is under a tornado warning. Melrose, you're now at 8:30 when this tornado warning expires. Grover Hill, you are technically not in this tornado warning, but still keep an eye on things. You're right on the boundary. And Brian, you've got some information to share with us.
Yes, that cell that is in southeastern Paulding County is moving east at 40 miles per hour, and that is radar indicated rotation with that tornado. So it is not confirmed on the ground, but this is radar indicated rotation. So still, if you are in the path of this storm, as Caleb mentioned, you know, seek shelter immediately.
Yeah, and this is the location, some of the locations in the path. We've got Hedges at 8:06, Melrose 8:16, Hartsburg at 8:25 p.m. So seek shelter if you're in a tornado warning.
I want to show viewers at home, Caleb, some pictures that have come in. I want to double check by Angie. These have come in from Angie. We've got them in an email right now. This is southern Allen County, and I believe this might be the same clouds involved in the situation you were just talking about that has now stretched into Ohio.
Brian, pull up the email.
Cloud formation. Look at this cloud formation. Let me try and blow this first one, this one right here, up a little bit.
Very ominous looking.
Yeah, this is just amazing. None of this touching. You can see, I'm going the wrong direction. You can see the funnel formation in the air. Nothing appears to be touching the ground. But if you've got strength in the atmosphere that's collected like that and it's traveling over your house, can you imagine seeing that? I guess in my lifetime I've seen something like this a time or two, but it's still, Mother Nature is just amazing to watch. But yeah, Angie, thank you for these pictures.
Yes, thank you. That's that rotation trying to reach the ground. Yeah. And if you can see, there's a little bright blue spot on the left of your screen there in that photo. That's an indication that that storm's got hail with it as well.
Wow.
When a strong thunderstorm turns blue on the inside, that's the light reflecting off the hail. So that storm probably produced some hail as well. So thank you for those photos. Yeah, this storm has some rotation with it, and this tornado warning is continuing into Paulding County, Ohio. This is Laddie, north of Haviland. So Haviland, I think you're good. This storm has stayed to the north of you. So while, yes, you are in a tornado warning, this storm is to the north of you. So this tornado warning is continuing until 8:30 for parts of Paulding County, Ohio. This is that same storm that Linda just showed pictures of that was rotating in some fashion in southern Allen County. So this storm has been warned since about, I'd say, Lafayette, Clinton, US 27, all the way to the east through Allen County.
Jaslyn, who's in charge of our online coverage, digital coverage, said a man named Cody just called. He's a storm spotter for NWS. He spotted a funnel cloud near Payne in Paulding, and as well a wall cloud. So definitely these formations are just amazing. And Amr, I know you wanted to share some things too.
Yeah, we have some more viewer images. We've been talking about some hail. This is from Corona. You can see on the left side of your screen the size of the hail, and then the right side looks to be the damage that hail can cause.
Might have been a door at one time.
Or a window of some sort, yeah, that's been caved in even.
All right, we also want to take a look now. We've been talking about the speed of these storms and how things are moving. This is an NDOT traffic camera at I-469 and Bluffton Road, and you can see the clouds are moving on. You know, much of our viewing area now is out of danger. The sun is coming out in some places, although I guess we are getting now.
Yeah, and this is looking off to the east. So where that tornado warned storm is, that's this big white cloud that you're seeing. It's so high up in the sky. There's so much energy that these clouds are just towering up 30, 40, 50,000 feet where the airplanes are flying. So that just gives you an indication of how strong these storms are. And we can look here, if I can provide you with
the area of concern now, Caleb, Paulding, and I know you're going to show us this and zoom in. Caleb, I think you really said a key thing just a couple of minutes ago when you were talking about estimated wind speeds, which we know a lot of damage can be caused by hail and then especially wind speeds. In Monroeville, you were estimating them at 50 miles an hour, but you just said a moment ago that in this Paulding area, you were estimating them around 70 miles an hour, which once you start to get to that point, that's when you can have the possibility, Caleb, of some real damage.
Yes, so that spot that I just picked that's in the tornado warning until 8:30, winds are estimated to be 65 miles per hour. So even 65 miles per hour straight line winds is going to take down a tree branch.
Yeah.
But when you're in a tornado, and especially with this signature so far away, means something strong could be happening on the ground. So we want to still pay attention to that. Good news is, Payne in places to the west, no longer in a tornado warning. So the National Weather Service has cut a portion of Paulding County out of the tornado warning, but there is still one for the southeastern corner that goes until 8:30 p.m. I want to bring radar back up for you here to show you just how intense these storms are. You can see there's that really bright spot of red just to the southeast of Paulding, Ohio. The 3D volumetric scan here is going to give us a good idea of just how strong these storms are. When we look at this, and you can see clouds are climbing upwards of 60,000 feet with this storm. That is very, very strong.
That's so amazing.
So that gives you an idea of just how strong these storms are. So stay inside. If you're in the tornado warning, get to your safe spot. We don't need you to take pictures as it's storming. We want you to be safe, and we want you to be proactive during these storms.
That is so, so important. Caleb, now that we have reached another top of the hour again, at 8 p.m., I know the area of concern is Paulding, but Caleb, could we do a little reset here and a recap? Could you please tell for our viewers in part of the area, especially it looks like a good amount of the western part of 21 country, can you please tell us which areas are looking to you to mostly be in the clear?
So I would estimate that places to the west of Huntington, so I believe, is it 9 that runs through Huntington? Or
yes.
Yeah, so 9 runs through Huntington. So if you live to the west of State Road 9, you're looking like you're in the clear.
Yep.
And we got a decent indication of that because places to the west of Kosciuszko County, west of Warsaw, no longer in the tornado watch. So while, yes, we've still got some heavy rain, there's some spots off to the north of Fort Wayne. You can see near Kendallville, up and into Auburn, near LaGrange. There's some rain showers still to deal with, some thunderstorms as well, but it doesn't look like, at least right now, that they're turning severe. So I would venture a guess that if you live to the west of State Road 9, you are in the clear. To the east of I-69, you still need to use some caution as some stuff is bubbling up. We can see there's still that tornado warning that's in effect for parts of Paulding County. That's going until 8:30, as well as Mercer County until 8:15. Brian, I'm going to give you just a moment here, and I believe, Linda, you got some stuff to show us. Brian, do me a favor, gather some information on the tornado warning in Mercer County for me, please.
Thanks, Brian. And yeah, everyone, in this business, we always wonder, can my microphone pick that up? Right? And right now we are getting another downpour of rain here at Television Park. We want to show you some of the video. I think this is the third downpour, but this was video of the first downpour. And it was considerable. You can see all the windows here at the station, you know, just like yours at home. But yeah, we've got cameras all over the community. We have cameras inside the building. They definitely, as Amr and I were chatting about with Heather earlier, they tell the story. That's Butler Road right there, pointed towards the northeast, our camera right there. And of course we have those big saucers out back.
Yeah, and I had asked you earlier, I'm sorry, Caleb, I'd asked about the risk of flooding, or would there be any flooding concerns? How much rainfall do you know so far? Have we gotten out of these storms? And I know it varies widely on where you are exactly.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm unsure at this time how many places received more than I'd guess 1/4 of an inch.
Okay.
Because for the most part, these storms were moving quickly. So they weren't staying in the same spot at one time, but they were moving over the same spot at one time. And
that's a better picture, isn't it, than what we saw earlier?
Yeah,
that's from
the sun is starting
Science
to come
Central,
out.
and there you see Tower Cam here at Television Park. again pointing in that direction towards southern Allen County that is not being as affected now by bad weather. There you see downtown Fort Wayne, a bit ominous still, but much better, in the Broadway Plaza area live right now too.
And Caleb, when you do talk about Fort Wayne, the most populated city in 21 country, what are you seeing right now for Fort Wayne in the Fort Wayne metro area? Are you seeing that things are winding down here? Obviously, we see that there's still some rain. We can hear it on the roof of our station. But as far as the severe threat, are you seeing that it is winding down?
Yeah, the severe threat is winding down for Allen County. There's still a couple of thunderstorms that we're going to have to contend with for the next couple of hours that we want to keep an eye on. But it does look like the threat for Allen County is starting to wind down. But we've still got that tornado warning for parts of Paulding County until 8:30 p.m. So this is moving to the east of Paulding, Ohio. Not Paulding County, but the town of Paulding, the city of Paulding. So over the next couple of minutes, it will move out of Paulding County. So DuPont 815, Continental 817. That's out of Paulding County. That is out of 21 country. And Brian, you've got some information about what we're seeing with the tornado warning in Mercer County, correct?
Yes, so that tornado warning goes till 8:15 p.m., that one in Mercer County, Ohio. And that cell is moving to the east at 30, and that is radar indicated rotation, meaning that, there's not a tornado on the ground, but there is an indication of some rotation with this storm.
So St. Mary's says you've got about 6 minutes to get to where you need to be.
And where should they be?
And they should be in their safe spot. So if you don't know your safe spot, it's the lowest floor, most interior room of your home. If you have a basement, it's down in the basement. If you're like me and you don't have a basement, it's my bathroom, the interior bathroom, or a closet, maybe under the stairs even. That might be your safe spot. But St. Mary's, Chickasaw, Bulkhead, this storm is moving right over top of you, which at this point, it's so far away from radar that it's going to be hard to tell if something is actually reaching the ground or not. But we do see that there's some greens and some reds right next to each other. So at least in the atmosphere right now, it looks like there's some rotation with this storm in Mercer County. But we don't know whether that's the case. And that tornado warning is out of our area, so we're not going to be concerned with it. But you can see there's still some really bright radar returns with this storm that's in Paulding County.
Again, we want to emphasize this is still taking place for many people in 21 country. We realize as we sit here providing this coverage for everyone that much of 21 country is pretty much in the clear. But we do have some of our neighbors in the Paulding area. And we want to make certain that they and their families and friends are safe too. That's why we're calling on the experts with Caleb and Brian. We sure appreciate you guys so much. So many notes of thanks to you for the expert coverage and especially just keeping people in the know so that we can all be safe throughout all of this, because at one time so many people were affected by some serious weather, and again they still are being affected by it in the Payne, Ohio area.
For quite a while we watched that storm in southern Allen County as it moved across, a tornado warning issued there. So we want to show you some pictures from that area, southern Allen County. And Caleb, can you tell, do we see funnel clouds, or we see maybe some rotation in those clouds?
So I think we're seeing a wall cloud, so not necessarily a funnel cloud, although we can't tell because it's a still photo.
Sure.
We would need some sort of video confirmation of that. But it does look like a wall cloud to me because we've got kind of some ragged edge to those clouds. But still, a wall cloud means there's some rotation. It's just a little bit larger in scale than what we might see with a funnel cloud or a tornado that's reaching
It's
the ground.
really a striking picture, though, Caleb, because it looks like, you know, the clouds are so big, so massive there, and it looks like they are trying to touch the ground or almost touching the ground there.
Ominous, right? I mean,
Yes.
if you're seeing that move towards you, high likelihood you're in a tornado warning and you need to be inside and not taking these photos. I believe this photo was safely taken by somebody who was out of the way of the storm.
Absolutely, yes.
So this was a safe decision by somebody, but if you're still in one of these thunderstorms, even if it's not warned, you want to make sure to stay inside.
So for people who are wondering, man, these guys, they're still on the air. I haven't seen anything outside in my front yard. Well, these photos right here, ladies and gentlemen, these aren't from, you know, Michigan or some rural area in Ohio. This is Allen County, you know, the southern part of Allen County, but still the most populous, largest county, people-wise, in our area.
And again, I don't want to pretend that I know weather policy. Caleb and Brian, you guys are the experts there, but it is our 21Alive policy to be on the air whenever any of our neighbors in 21 country are under a severe thunderstorm or tornado warning.
Yes, so the reason why we've been on so long is because there's been a tornado warning in our area, not necessarily for everybody, but for somebody in our area since 5:30, 6 o'clock,
Yeah,
something
close to
like
6,
that.
yep.
So this has been a pretty prolonged event, but the good news is some of the information that I'm seeing, it looks like the severity of it actually ended up being a little bit lesser. So we're taking a lot of precautions because we know that these storms rotated, and there was that tornado in Steuben County. We know that these storms produced a tornado. The good news is we're seeing some hail report. We're seeing some isolated hail reports. We're seeing some isolated damage. It doesn't look to be widespread, and that's the fortunate side of this, is that it doesn't look to have impacted a large amount of people, but we know that these storms definitely had some impact on people. I'm seeing photos now that I can't actually share right now of damage out of Wabash County. Poles, trees, roof damage for some areas. So we know that these storms have produced damage and are potentially producing damage right now, so we need to take precautions over the next several minutes, especially for those who are in a tornado warning. You can see Paulding County and then parts of Mercer County. This tornado warning that is in Paulding County, I believe, wraps up at about 8:30.
When we talk about that area, you're showing Paulding County, but that Mercer County area, that area that's southwest, the southwest corner and tip of us, this was an area that did experience some severe weather not that long ago, Caleb.
And they are not strangers to severe weather as well either. It feels like every year somewhere in Mercer County has a tornado touch down and move through and cause damage. For whatever reason, and we don't know, but for whatever reason, they seem to have quite a few touchdowns in Mercer County, and a new tornado warning has extended beyond Mercer County until 8:45 p.m. So if you have friends in Mercer County, Salina, Montezuma, out to St. Mary's, give them a call. Say, hey, do you know there's a tornado warning? Mercer County is technically not in the National Weather Service Northern Indiana office viewing area. They're in Wilmington. So they're the ones monitoring this storm, but we know that some of you have friends and family, or you might work in Mercer County, so we want to give you some of that information real quick. Brian, you have some information to share with us.
Yes, we do have some isolated damage reports. Actually, a tree fell on a train track and actually stopped a train in Wabash, Indiana, and Noble County. And then we also have seen an 18-inch diameter tree fall in Townley, Indiana. That is near Zulu, the town we mentioned just about an hour ago. That is in portions of Allen County, I believe. So we have seen some isolated damage from this, and still we are monitoring these storms because they're still not out of 21 country quite yet.
And they almost are. We are almost done with this thunderstorm that is moving out of Paulding County.
I have to say one thing, though. When we first began on the air at 4 with meteorologist Chris Daniels and went into the 5 o'clock hour, and Caleb and Brian began to join us, we were first talking about a lot of the storms first appearing north of us in Michigan, and that they were strong. I'm hearing some rough news out of Kalamazoo to our north, not too far to our north. One, again, not confirmed, but one Facebook page calling for all off-duty paramedics because they believe there may be a lot of injuries there.
And we've received similar reports from emergency managers and National Weather Service officials out of that region. There was a tornado emergency at one point in southwestern Michigan, kind of near Dowagiac, if you're familiar with the geography of that area, that tornado emergencies are issued because there is a tornado actively happening that is producing damage.
And that just goes to show you how quickly things can happen, how quickly they can change just like that. And that's why we're on the air.
Yeah, and we wanted to make sure, whether it be a tornado warning, whether it be a severe thunderstorm warning, that we give you the latest information. And we've been tracking these storms for days. We knew that something like this could happen, and now we're starting to see the results of it actually wrap up.
This is the reason we issued those first alert weather days.
Exactly. This is why we've issued the first alert weather days. This is the last of it here. This tornado warning that is continuing out of 21 country until 8:45. So Melrose, you're probably out of the worst of it at this point. That bright spot of red is off to the north and to the northeast of you. So if you live along Road 140, and I turn my lightning off there, and Road, I believe that's 263, 148, all the way north to County Road 178, you are still in this tornado warning. You still need to seek shelter. But places like Hedges, Laddie, I'd say even into Melrose, even though there's still a tornado warning issued for you, you are in the clear. You can, if you can hear us from your safe spot, you're able to come out now. Hopefully, we receive no reports of damage from that area.
But again, as Brian mentioned just a couple of minutes ago, we're going to be with you until everyone in our viewing area is in the clear as far as these warnings are concerned. And Brian, thank you so much for bringing that up, because that is our policy here at 21Alive. A lot of people continue to send us pictures, send us a video. You can look out your back door right now and probably see a very different picture from what is being highlighted here on radar. And it just goes to show that we live in a very populated area. Our viewing area is very spread out here in Northeast Indiana and Northwest Ohio. So we're just trying to be there for everybody, you know?
And some of that video coming in is some of that doorbell footage. We showed you some of it from Avila a little bit ago. I want to show you some more footage right now that shows the storm blowing in fast and tossing some debris around. This is similar to some video we showed a little bit ago.
Yeah, it's wild to see. Okay, if you take that video back far enough, everything just looked normal, regular day, and then within a few seconds, within a few minutes, things can really change. We're getting a lot of reports of hail damage. I'm seeing some reports of some damage in, I want to say, I don't want to get this wrong. It was on Messenger, I believe.
And when it's this video, we'll give you a second to look at that. Look for that, Linda. When you look at this video, Heather, it will. Some people will look at this and say, "Okay, I see some hail coming in. I see some small branches getting knocked off." But what we do know is, based off some of the reports that we have in, this storm has also caused trees to go down. It caused a train to stop. So there are some severe implications, even to the people that might see this and think it's not as big of a deal.
Right. And what we do want to reiterate, we have gotten no reports of injuries, which we're incredibly thankful for. And I think it's because, as Caleb said, we had been watching this storm for at least 24 hours. We knew it was coming. We were able to tell you the exact path of the storm. And because of that, I think, at least partially, we have not seen injuries or anything worse than that.
I found that note, sorry, Heather, from Rick saying, not a storm spotter or an official necessarily, but reporting to our newsroom along Pole Barn leveled, grain silos near 400 South, 950 West in Whitley County, multiple trees down and some power outages in that area. So.
We've got a report from a trained spotter, and Brian is sitting back here with us here. Coming out of Paulding, Ohio.
Okay. Yes, we do have a visible tornado spotted with soil lofted, and that is just along the highway 613 west of Oakwood, Ohio. That's in Paulding County. So if you are in that storm, seek shelter immediately at this moment, because there is a tornado spotted on the ground.
And that's very much the reason why we're still on the air.
If directors, if you don't mind, please pull up maps for me. This is going to give an idea of where that tornado was. This is east of Melrose. So this is near Oakwood, east of Melrose. This is a storm report. This is a funnel cloud. We don't know that it actually touched the ground, but it says soil was lofted. So that's an indication that it did actually touch the ground. That's going to need to be confirmed. This is this storm that is just now moving out of Oakwood. Oakwood is where you see Main Street right there. The label isn't even popping up on our map there. But that's where Oakwood is. And you can see the strongest of this is off to the east and to the northeast. So for, it seems like an hour, this storm has been producing some sort of rotation. If you're in the clear, but you live in southern Allen County through, I'd say, about Paulding County, Ohio, if you're able to, just send us a message or send us a picture or just give us a report of what actually happened, because we want to verify, hey, it did or did not produce any damage in Allen County that was under a tornado warning, or into that parts of Paulding County. And there's still parts of Paulding County that are under that tornado warning, but we are just about having that storm move out of Paulding County. And as a matter of fact, it looks like it's on the Paulding County line. And I apologize in advance, I do not know the county to the east of it where Continental is located.
And Caleb, I'm sorry, Heather. Caleb, one of the things I've learned always is when you have severe weather coverage like this, and so continuous as long as we've had it, is there's always new viewers, and there's viewers who this is the first time they're watching severe weather coverage. So could you please just give a quick recap of, for somebody who's brand new to this, the difference between a watch and a warning, and why we take the warnings so seriously?
So the difference between a watch and a warning, I always like to take it back to ingredients of like a cake or like tacos. We've got all the ingredients, they haven't come together. They haven't formed a cake. They haven't formed a severe storm. The warning, they've come together, we believe, and it could be producing severe damage, whether that be hail, whether that be a tornado. We saw a confirmed tornado, or reports of a tornado, in Steuben County.
Even sometimes straight line winds.
In straight line winds,
right?
we've got to take seriously. We've shown photos of large hail tearing up trees, tearing up sidings of houses. So that's why we take these warnings so seriously, even if it's just a severe thunderstorm warning, because it could still be producing damage that is potentially life-threatening.
Your safety is number one.
Yeah. Now, Linda mentioned earlier about the storms that were just north of us in the Kalamazoo area. We do want to show you a photo. It's from our sister station in Michigan, WWMT. That appears to be one of multiple tornadoes.
Wow.
That were reported. They touched down near the town of Mendon.
Know exactly where that is.
Michigan. Reporters there say there's quite a bit of damage across the Kalamazoo area. That southwestern corner of Michigan, it appears, was the most hardest hit.
This is an area, it's not only is it not far from this area, but people have ties to this. People like Heather and I used to actually work in that market in western Michigan. Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids. Kalamazoo, barely 2 hours. A lot of tourist hotspots like Bells and stuff there. It shows you, and Linda was saying earlier, getting reports of injuries and calling paramedics about what can happen in areas that are not that far at all.
No.
Yeah.
That's that point that needs to be made. You know, a lot of you are even messaging us and saying, oh, wrap it up. Well, we're not. We're not going to, because our policy is to be there for everyone affected by a warning, because it's so important.
And we've got some good news. The final warning has dropped for our area. So for those of you whose programming was interrupted, we appreciate you guys' patience.
We sure do.
There's other spots that we needed to be concerned with this evening, and unfortunately television technology is not so far along that we can interrupt a specific spot. It's coming in the near future, but it's not here right now. So we appreciate your patience. We're going to send it back to regularly scheduled programming, but we do want to say that all warnings have been expired for 21 Country.
And Brian and Caleb, thank you. Thank you so much for your expertise, guys. We sure appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.